Oh, I'm going to milk this till the end of time. You're right. Anytime she says something stupid, I'm going to go, slave owner! Exactly, because if she is shaming descendants of this, will she continue to do that when she is now one of them? And it is funny. She's so wrapped up in identity, and she had no idea who she was.
It's a very strange show, but it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch them.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Well, they're just, it's interesting because I think Sunny is very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
That's sort of, I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones, don't have to name any names, who are just very dull-minded. But I think Sunny's not one of them. I think she's smart, but captured.
Sure, I think she came into it with an agenda.
Of course. They do everything with an agenda.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld saw something that many others overlooked. While Sunny Hostin's polished TV persona captured the eye of numerous viewers, these two took a closer look, and their observations soon gained traction. Gutfeld shared his own opinions instead of the standard talking points, while Rogan talked without a script. One made use of comedy while the other provided instances to support his arguments. There was no easy way to dodge the topic, as the discussion around Sunny quickly turned from appreciation to escalating controversy.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies-infested hen house.
and at the same time, it seemed like the most interesting part was their audience seemed to be on my side.
Yes.
Hostin's obsession with race gets thrown back in her face. Today's video comes to us from sunny Hostin. Sounds like a town. We're in sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice. Well, turns out she's not as oppressed as she claims she is. She's actually the descendant of slave owners from...
Sunny Hostin may have a shelf full of gold medals if being incorrect were an Olympic sport. Her ability to create a statement that doesn't entirely make sense and then confidently defend it is nearly remarkable. She would likely be on the cover every year if Forbes gave out prizes for confidence alone. Even though she was the biggest voice in a room full of economists, historians, and regular people employing common sense, it was astonishing how little she really contributed. That's when Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld stepped in. It just took a fleeting gaze, and for some reason, that instance spoke more than words.
I saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days.
Yeah, is that annoying?
No.
No?
No, I mean, it's just... When I was on there, I really had no idea how it was going to land with the audience. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that.
What comes next is something you won't want to miss. Joe Rogan has maintained his cool when speaking with neuroscientists, conspiracy theorists, and almost everyone in between. However, Sunny Hostin really took him by surprise. He was momentarily stunned by the notion that someone could pursue a profession despite being so constantly wrong. Hostin often talks with a great sense of moral conviction, as if she were giving everyone the last word. Greg Gutfeld, on the other hand, seemed to be having fun. He took his time pointing out the discrepancies with evident joy, since he saw them as an opportunity rather than a problem.
I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living. On the backs of others.
Fact of life. Interesting change of tune. For more, we go to our chief Sunny Hostin correspondent for a reaction.
Problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. And they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her, and they did that with Meghan McCain, and they did that with what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her? Jamie. She was always yelling. I mean, it's a bizarre show.
Imagine a TV personality who is trapped in a loop where speaking out and criticizing others is seen as activism. A society that values self-assurance but seldom acknowledges personal responsibility. Do you disagree with her logic? Whether it fits or not, you are abruptly assigned an extreme label. The commentary argues that Sunny Hostin's style often turns panel discussions into emotionally charged debates. It claims Joe Rogan responded by repeating some of her past remarks, suggesting they carried a different impact when heard in that context, leading to a tense exchange.
Oh, I'm gonna milk this till the end of time. You're right. Anytime she says something stupid, I'm gonna go, slave owner! Exactly, because if she is shaming descendants of this, will she continue to do that when she is now one of them? And it is funny. She is so wrapped up in identity and she had no idea who she was.
Greg Gutfeld brought more than a mirror. He arrived with a megaphone, a spotlight, and the intensity of a total takeover. Analyzing Sunny Hostin's arguments was like peeling an onion composed of repeated indignation, with each layer becoming thinner than the last. Her criticism is loud, disorganized, and sometimes startlingly off target. According to the commentary, Joe Rogan let her remarks to speak for themselves, but Greg Gutfeld countered by dissecting each of her points. They used comedy to draw attention to what they saw as discrepancies between her public statements and some of her stances.
She had to tell the audience that she tips big because even she knows she sounds insufferable. Hey, I'm an but at least I tip. This dame probably virtue signals on the toilet. But that's not the point here. While everybody else was trying to figure out how to survive as the government told us that breathing in public could kill us, Sunny was lolling around in her big house clicking on pictures of arugula while mixing Cocoa Puffs into her Haagen-Dazs. Oh, the oppression. I wonder if she wiped down the groceries herself or had her maid do it.
Greg Gutfeld produced this roast with the consistency, sharpness, and unwavering perseverance of a slow-cooked brisket. Sunny Hostin seems as if she's never wrong. Even when she says that simple arithmetic doesn't add up, she comes across like a malfunctioning GPS, turning any little problem into a massive calamity. The commentary claims Greg Gutfeld used humor to mock what he saw as inconsistencies in her arguments, while Joe Rogan responded by calmly repeating some of her own statements. Together, they portrayed her approach as turning ordinary discussions into overly complicated or emotionally charged debates.
People have to wonder, where does Sunny Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like you said, and it's obviously from her husband. She has to tell her what to say on The View, because without it, she's got nothing up there. She's not very bright. But the problem with her is that she went full racist. She injected skin color into a fairly generic behavior seen in all spouses, regardless of skin color. People marry, they listen to each other, they have something in common with them, they share their political views. She just didn't want to upset her husband by saying her husband makes her do everything, and then she'd have to accuse him of being a racist. Because if he told her that this is what white women do, then he's a racist. You see?
And there's the traditional Hostin modest boast. Sunny Hostin casually mentions her Ivy League degree, vacation house, and personalized oat milk latte while speaking to the nation about unfairness and misery. She claims to be just like everyone else while discussing difficulties from what seems like a boat. Greg Gutfeld transformed that seeming paradox into a complete Broadway production, with Sunny's luxury unfolding like an endless sold-out musical. According to the comments, Greg Gutfeld said that she has been inconsistent in condemning others despite her own shortcomings, while Joe Rogan condemned her remarks as being too general and devoid of subtlety. From their point of view, the conversation raised concerns about her public persona and her reaction to criticism.
She took the news. Roll it.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's
According to Joe Rogan, arguing with Sunny Hostin is like attempting to teach a cat to juggle. It's exhausting, messy, and generally fruitless. She was referred to by Greg Gutfeld as a human fire alarm that only sounds when reason emerges. Every argument turns into a personal assault in her world. Every joke is seen as hostility, and even a straightforward dinner discussion seems to need the services of a certified therapist. Gutfeld made the joke that it's like eating crayons and blaming the menu when she said that biology should follow emotions. If you ask for proof, she will refer to it as tone policing. She appears to believe that an emotive tweet can triumph over research. Gutfeld joked that the title of her next book will be Being Gaslit. Of course, in all uppercase. Rogan made a very obvious point. She doesn't want to have a conversation. Instead, she keeps people stuck in their ideologies. You're wicked if you question her. You're done if you disagree. The inadvertent humor she leaves behind will be her legacy rather than wisdom. Rogan and Gutfeld put up a mirror and busted her story with 2 mics, 1 Fox coffee mug, and no rebuttals. The commentary argues that Greg Gutfeld and Joe Rogan questioned what they saw as inconsistencies in her arguments, suggesting they did not hold up under close scrutiny. Rather than responding with anger, they remained calm, using composure to highlight what they viewed as a gap between public image and reality.